Oh my God! Save this!
Oh, get me out of this. Get me out of this.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Auto Alex V2 channel. Now, the last time you saw my Peugeot 205 GTI, I promised you all that I was going to be fitting some very cool parts to it. And don't worry, I am delivering. We are going to be fitting these. What these are a set of GEMV individual throttle bodies. Now, I've always wanted to put a set of throttle bodies on a car. So today, we're going to take all of this apart, put all of that on, and hopefully go and make loads of noise up the road and annoy all of the neighbours. So, as I said a second ago, these are a set of GEMV individual throttle bodies, of which I bought from a man called Ian. It came from a running and driving car. Did you hear that, Rory? A running and driving car, which this should be by the end of today. What are the benefits of this going to be, you may ask? Now, what that does is replace the standard inlet manifold, which we have here. What you do get is a little bit more air, not that much more air, I'll be honest. It doesn't actually add that much more power, but it's mainly noise. And you get an improved throttle response as well. You get a really good throttle response. Also, I'm hoping that this will actually improve reliability because at the moment, we've got an inlet manifold and then we've got an airflow meter tucked down here. Now, it's all quite messy. It doesn't really fit properly because remember, this isn't the original engine from this car. This is an MI16 engine. A lot of you may have noticed that in the last video, I kept calling it the engine from a 304 GTI. It's not. It was from something else that I can't remember. But it's a 1.9 16 valve. This car never originally came with a 16 valve engine, so it's blowers. But as I was saying, we're going to replace all of this. We're going to get rid of this idle control valve, get rid of all this airflow meter, get rid of all this rubbish housing here where the air filter is, and hopefully tidy this whole engine bay up as well because it is really messy and it looks rubbish. So what I'm going to start off by doing is removing this slam panel here with the bonnet latch on it to gain a bit more access to the inlet manifold, and then I'm going to take the airbox off, the airflow meter and all of this awful wiring to gain more access to this inlet manifold because it looked quite fiddly to take off. So let's get cracking. Right, so slam panel off, and as you can see, I've got a fantastic amount more access now. That is really tight. As Rory just pointed out off camera, there is really not a lot of room for this car. It literally only just fits. Also, you can see I can't get a finger between here and the radiator, and if you look here, between the brake master cylinder and the timing belt case, you can't even get a fag paper between there. What do you call me? So, I'm gonna get rid of all this ghetto crap as well, and all of this. And just start getting rid of all this crap and tidying all this up. This is all rubbish. It all needs to just go in the bin. Oh wow. Look at this air filter, Rory. So not only is it tiny, I mean this engine's probably got quite a lot of air in because it's got quite a big inlet manifold, but it's also held on just by duct tape and pressure, and I don't think that's been changed in quite a while. In fact, it started to collapse. You can see that it's been sort of sucking itself in. So that would have been limiting power a bit. There's only one place for this, Rory. In the bin. That's also nice, that. That's not original, is it? Oh, Bennett, who's done these up? What git has done all these up? Oh, surely to goodness, I have not just carried out a task that was that simple. You watch, the engine will fall out now. Ah, that is heavy, but that is one inlet manifold. So one thing I have noticed since taking the inlet manifold off is if you look here, Rory, the head of this engine has been very muchly ported and polished, and the ports and the valves in this thing are massive. That is really cool. This engine's definitely had quite a lot of work done to it, which is nice to see actually. So this should actually be quite a good improvement in power, especially as though that had a really small air filter on it. So I'm even more excited to get these on and running now. Next thing though, we need to remove some of the old wiring to make way for the new wiring and the new ECU. So that's going to be a little bit fiddly. I think fitting this physically is probably going to be a little bit easier than this next bit.
Before Taylor continues with the ITB installation, a reminder from me as ever that if you want to buy yourself a used car, van or motorbike, run a car vertical report on it first to ensure it's not being crashed, stolen or clocked. If we take a look at the car vertical report for Rory's lovely new L322 Range Rover, you can see that we've got green ticks for odometer and damage, but an amber warning for finance and legal status. But don't worry, Rory, I've done the checks. It's because the car has failed an MOT. Otherwise, it's a good one. And now to give you guys an example of a bad car vertical report, check out this Lamborghini Urus, something that I will never be able to afford, but we have got green ticks for odometer and finance and amber warnings for title check and damage. And in some instances, you get pictures of the crash damage. So we can see here, if we open this up, in June of 2021, the car seems to have been in a smash. All of the airbags have gone off. And then if you have a look on the front of the vehicle, you can see that it's had quite a crash. Close that down, and then we can see that a few months later, yes, it was probably in Copart or somewhere, and then a year later, it was all fixed up, ready to be sold again. No more airbags, no more damage on the front end. But you know, because you ran a car vertical report on this lovely motor, that it was previously crashed. So probably one to avoid. So again, do yourselves a favor, do not get stung when buying a used car, van or motorbike. What's more, and you're gonna like this, you'll get a massive 30% off using Car Vertical's Black Friday sale. 30% off, use the code V2. Cheers.
Okay, so that is the wiring installed. Next thing we need to do is fit the ITBs to the engine, and then I can plumb in the fuel lines, the throttle cable, the injectors and the air temperature sensor, and then fingers crossed, this thing might actually start. And if it does, I'll be really happy because A, I've wanted a car with ITBs for ages, and B, this would have been a really easy job.
It's not going to happen, is it?
Shut up, Rory. Just shut. I don't like your level of negativity.
Wait. Cut to day 2.
Don't cut. No, you don't need to cut to day 2 because we've done it.
Cut to day 2.
No. Okay, so injectors are all now plugged in and the air temperature sensor is also plugged in. So all I have left to do is put the manifold bolts on, connect the fuel lines and the vacuum lines, and then we're going to give it a go and try and start it. Not nervous in the slightest. Ignore a lot of this because it's very temporary, just to see if we can get it running. But yeah, I think they're on.
Cut to day 2.
Shut up. Shall I try it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it. It's got a flat battery. Get me a jump pack. Or my brights are a bit lighter this time. Cut to day 2. It's not day 3, it's day 2.5, all right? Cut me some slack. We have made progress. Would you like to see my progress? Yeah, it runs! Oh, not only does it run, oh my God! Let me do a quick explanation. We had to do wiring here, 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 and in there. It was a faff. Basically, this ECU is a piggyback ECU. So the original wiring loom stays where it is, and you add another wiring loom and another ECU, effectively. What you have to do is join some of the wires from the new loom into the old loom, but I had no idea where any of those wires went and what they connected to. So we had to work it all out manually, work that out, wired it in, and then it still didn't work. So I had to do it again. Other than the wiring, this has been a plug and play job. I've not had to make any modifications to the engine, any modifications to the car, just a little bit of wiring. It was the wiring that took the time. And the only other thing, I fitted a brand new Yuasa battery because the original one was naff, and this provides a lot more power. So thank you very much, Yuasa, for sending that out. Before we go out for a drive, there is one more modification that I do want to make that I've been meaning to do for ages, and it has been winding me up. Look at this, Rory. Look at the state of that. This weighs an absolute ton. It's got a couple of 6x9s in it. It's all bowed. It is horrible. So I have got, did you see how heavy that was? But I have got a new to me parcel shelf with no holes in it, which is quite a rarity these days. And this cable doesn't go on there because the knob's missing. Look at that. No more holes. Now we can go out for a drive.
I wake up on Sunday morning, feel that ache inside my heart.
Right, I brought you with me.
It's day 4 now.
Shut up. Just stop winding me up.
Okay.
I brought you with me because I want you to experience not only my ITBs, but this car, because you haven't been out in this
I
yet,
haven't,
have you,
no, not
Rory?
yet. Now do remember, you have bodged the shit out of it.
Look,
you got to test it first.
I haven't bodged the shit out
bodged
of it.
the shit out of it. Your throttle pedal is held on by a piece of zip tie.
No, it's 2 cable ties actually. As I said, there are a few bits that I need to finish off,
Okay.
but it's pretty much there. This car had about 180 horsepower, I believe, there or thereabouts, before I fitted the ITBs.
Okay, which is already a lot for this.
It is a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah, especially for this car.
Yeah.
And then the ITBs, the car that they came off of, had the same engine as this and the same cams, and it had 220 horsepower.
Okay.
I've never had a car with proper working throttle bodies before. Shall we? Oh my god! It's so fast!
Oh, get me out of this. Get me out of this.
This is so fast!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Way! Woo!
Oh wow!
What do you think, Rory?
Yeah. What was the 205's crash protection like back in the day?
Oh, we don't worry about
Okay, all
that.
right.
All we worry about is the speed.
I do worry about the speed.
Listen to the induction noise. Oh, that is so good.
Was it? This is like proper hot hatch, wasn't it?
It is
like,
proper hot hatch.
These were the hot hatches.
Yes.
Like the new ones are.
They're a little bit muted, aren't they? The new ones?
This was like when they put power in cars that shouldn't have this power.
I mean, this car
they shouldn't have this power.
Do you know what? This is what it's all about. It's you feel absolutely everything in this car. All right, it rattles a little bit.
A little.
But it's got no power steering. It's,
Yeah.
you know, you've got 3 pedals and a gear stick. It's what it is all about. And you get the little crackles and the bangs from the exhaust and the...
Oh!
There's a Ferrari there! Wow!
This thing is insane.
I think I've single-handedly created the most ridiculous car I've ever owned. What?
I'm smelling the oil.
Yeah.
The oil de Bernaire.
Look, right.
It's a French order, yeah?
It's got a little bit of an oil leak, but I'll get around to that.
Okay.
So, 3 days, I've transformed the way this car drives.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rory? Do you reckon it's worth it?
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah?
Fair play. This is... Oh my god. Quick.
Fucking hell! Excuse my oué le
Oh my
français.
god.
I like this car, Rory.
I think, all right, next episode dyno, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you'd like to see this car on a dyno, let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, and if you've enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, because that means we can make more of them. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.
Ah!